everybody. It is, well, actually supposed to be Friday morning, but actually I got done getting your questions a little bit sooner than I thought. And so I thought, since it's 11:23 on Thursday night, remember the deadlines for the questions is Thursday night every week at 11 o'clock to get your questions into me and let me at Google, as well as our email addresses. We have a couple of questions. I printed it in larger print so I don't have to block the microphone, which is right in here in front of me. Now, most of these questions are open for both me and Lomi, and part of a roundtable, so to speak. We're going to have us each take turns answering the questions, kind of like you see one of those political debates things, just because it's easier. These are not shuffled, meaning these are in the order that I received them or in the way that they came across to me. So these are only a few of the questions. I'm sure hopefully by next week you'll have more questions for this. So this is going to be a relatively short ask as anything, but we will certainly hopefully we'll hear more from you. This is going out on yourliston.com/BICHLA4 as well, so you can actually listen to this on yourliston.com. So if you are interested about the address, it's www.yourliston.com/BICHELA, and that's free to anybody to listen. And of course, for you people on YouTube or Your Liston want to know where the YouTube page is, it's http://www.youtube.com/USCR/BICHELA4. Now, like I said, every Thursday is the deadline for the questions, so if you wanted to ask something this week but you blew it or didn't get it in time, you can still go ahead and keep responding to the questions list. Me and Lumi have both shared. Yes. Okay, so you guys can keep asking questions on that. And then those questions, in addition to, of course, sending them to our email addresses, and we will have them for next week, and so on and so forth. That also gives us a nice running list. So let's start here. The first question comes from Ryan Carey. Now, by the way, before I forget, some of these questions might be a little bit inappropriate for children, audience members, so please, adult discretion is advised. I also, of course, will do my best to be respectful of parents in my demeanor and my decorum. So this question is being actually asked in proper British American English. So this question is not meant to be tacky. Okay, he asks, do you masturbate with your female parts or male parts? Well, actually, Ryan, I actually haven't masturbated at all in a long time. We do a lot of female fingering, female touching, feeling. Lumi's in charge the masculine organs. And do you masturbate? No, I have no real reason to. Okay, so there's your answer. The answer is not in a long time have we done that. And I do my female part, and Lumi likes to do the touching feeling on me. So that's about it. He asks a lot more questions. As I said, these questions are a little more generic. Do you have children? No, I do not. He didn't ask, do you want children? No, he didn't. Do you? It's not practical in this life. Yeah, that's the biggest problem right now, is if me and Lumi were to adopt children, the cost to raise a child is astronomically expensive, and I don't make enough money to support a child plus me and Lumi. That's just not going to happen. It's a great question, though. because we have been talking about in our next life having children. Okay, next question is what do you like most about having pets? Well, I liked the fact is that, you know, my cat's not into dogs, so I'm just talking about my cat's experience because that's what I have more experience with. Or free spirits. They go in and out when they want. They have free reign. They can go outside, you know, be themselves, have a good time, chasing birds, catching squirrels and mice, and then they come home and they give unconditional love, and they don't even demand anything of me. They just ask that I put water in their water dish and food in their food dish, and make sure that they got a warm place to sleep. And when they're in the house for the winter time, that the cat box is neat and tidy, and that's really all they request. And you know, it's for some people like me that are constantly on the go. That's a great thing. I mean, we get a chance to. My cats are like me; they like to go out when they want, come in when they want. I mean, they like to lay on my bed with me. You know, like Fame has been very cuddly. He sleeps with me in the daytime when I'm taking a day nap. Like before I did this, ask me anything. I actually fell asleep about 6 o'clock at night. I woke up, and the next thing you know, it was about 8:30, and so obviously we started compiling the questions together earlier in the day that we've already had, such as yours, and you know, it's just, for me, the cats give me a sense of comfort. That I have, you know, something very special in my life that gives unconditional love. Let me. I like the cats myself, but the only problem is that sometimes I gotta admit that Fame gets a little bit too huggy, snuggly, and like now he's been sleeping on Michele's phone. Unfortunately, he's a cat, and we're concerned that he's gonna one time shift his weight just wrong and possibly knock the iPhone 3GS on the floor and break it. But, you know, me and Michele realized that he doesn't mean harm. So, I mean, like Michele said, the cats also have been a wonderful joy for me. I grew up in, as I said, in many of my lives in the past, and I've had pets, I've had cats, and Michele, like me, has dog experience, but you know, we just don't really get into the dog thing. But you know, the cats are nice because, you know, they don't ask for a million things. They don't have a big giant Christmas list in Christmas time. They just, well, like Michele said, they just want food, they just want water, a place to sleep, and of course, in, you know, a clean cat box, and they look up to us, and we look up to them because they are fellow creatures of Mother Earth, and we love them unconditionally, even when they misbehave. We know that in many cases they're just doing what they're going to do, and we can't really force our morals on a cat because that doesn't work, for one thing. No, it doesn't. You want to take care of the next question? He's got a lot of them here, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Are you afraid of death? Michele? No. No, I'm not afraid of death. Death does not scare me. Let me? No, I'm not scared of death either. We both know that when we die, we will be going to the other side for a time where we're going to be working on our life charts, as well as meeting up with friends and relatives from our past lives and present lives that have passed on. And of course, we'll see all of our pets from the past, just as Pope Francis confirmed to a little girl in Rome. You will see your dog again in heaven. You will see all of your pets again in heaven. So, yes, I am not afraid of death. And I know, like Michele said, you're not either. No. In fact, I'm looking forward to going home when my chores are done. Amen, sister. Okay. Next question. Do you watch soap operas? No way. No, I don't either. We listened to the Guiding Light on classic radio, old time radio. That was kind of good. But sitting there and watching a soap opera, it's just depressing. I know that me and Michele have talked to Lemmy about soap operas, and Dory's like, I went like certain ones, and we put the Guiding Light on the old time radio program, and she was listening to that, and she was like, hey, this is kind of good, I'm actually hearing a piece of history. Episode 1 of The Guiding Light. Yeah, that was pretty cool on CBS radio when it first came out, wasn't it? Yeah. Me and Michele have been listening to a lot of old time radio programs, and it's been a really blessing, a wonderful thing for us to have access to radio shows and things. But to watch a modern soap opera is, I just don't think we have the patience to watch something that is kind of like Total Drama Island. Well, I actually watched Total Drama Island. Yeah, it's a good show. And it's a good show. It's a good kid show. Although, if I was to watch every day, I think I would be a little bit frustrated in the end of the show of Total Drama Island. But do you think that's in Hulu? It might be. Why? Because I kind of would like to watch some of the episodes of Total Drama Island we missed. We'll see. Okay. My turn. What is your favorite food? That's tough because I eat a lot of different things. Well, you said, what is my most favorite food? And it's ice cream! Ice cream, gelato. I know I was going to say, isn't that really a dessert? Well, it's a food. You didn't ask if it was a dessert or main entree. Oh, come on, Michele. Give me a main entree, too. I don't know. I'm Italian ancestry. I like pastas. I love pizza. I love pizza a lot. I eat a lot of pizza. No kidding. Me, Dory, and Lemmy scarfed down a large pizza from ABC Pizza on Friday. It was delicious. It had sausage, pepperoni, and extra cheese, and 2 1-liter sodas. One for me, one for Dory. And we were all talking. It was a great time. But definitely the pizza is probably one of my favorite of the typical foods. I also like lasagna. Yeah, just like Garfield. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Garfield would like my lasagna. Because I really throw heavy garlic in there. Oh, yeah, she loves garlic. Yeah, I love garlic. So, yeah, I eat a lot of garlic and a lot of oregano and I like feta cheese. I know it's goat's cheese. It's fine with me. I also love yogurt. Like right now, I bought 6 larger yogurt, 32-ounce yogurts from the local grocery store chain called Stop and Shop today. They're regular kind of, not the frozen kind, but they're. What I do is I take them and I throw them in the freezer, and then when they come out, they're all nice and frozen solid. And then I just take a spoon and it's like I chip it away at it, and so they get a little workout while I'm eating yogurt. It's kind of cute. They're like kind of cute. All right, next question. Do you believe in same-sex marriage? Yes, absolutely. Marriage is a union between 2 people who have dedicated their lives to each other and want to stay together. Now, I know that some of the evangelicals and some hard conservative Roman Catholics, I'm kind of a middle road Catholic, so Gaian, pagan, whatever, a little bit of everything. I'm a little bit Wiccan. I'm a little bit Roman Catholic too. Yeah, we'll phone that. Yeah. Actually, she's more pagan than Wiccan. Yeah, okay, whatever. Because I know that everybody says, well, God said that marriage was to be between a man and a woman as prescribed in the Garden of Eden. Well, let me make sure we understand one thing here real quick. Because it's related to a few more questions that we got coming in, and I want to say this up front. It's funny when you hear some of the evangelicals talk, because they say my God is a living God. Oh, but the Bible is the only book we'll ever need. It is carved in stone. It is never going to change. Well, how can that be a living God if he's not allowed to update the rules as necessary? I believe that Yahweh and Mother Asna do update the rules as needed. Now, granted, like I said before, one of my other shows, which is on gate conversion, the whole idea of originally the idea of be fruitful and multiply was important because Israel was a very small group. Adam and Eve were starting out as a very small community, and obviously, if Adam and Eve was Adam and Steve, or even Yvette or Adama or something like that, there would not be any offspring in that application. But at that time, that would have been just kind of like a crying shame, because Yahweh wanted to see more members of the house that would later become the House of David. That's the whole point. Right now, with 5+ billion people in the world, we really don't need to focus so much on having babies anymore. Also, the fact of the matter is just like some people buy refurbished cell phones and some people buy used TVs. People choose to buy used stuff, right? Well, what about taking on the responsibility of raising somebody else's child? There's so many children in foster care. There are so many children that are in need of good homes. What does it really matter if there's somebody else's children? I mean, if you can love them and respect them and raise them with your true love and honesty, they're going to grow up just fine. I mean, I would, of course, make sure that they understand if they were, adopted as babies. That, yeah, you were adopted, but you were chosen because I loved what you were. I loved how you are. If it's an older child that was been in foster care, shuffled from place to place, this is, again, you're doing this child a favor. You're giving them something of a normal childhood. Even if it's not your own flesh and blood. If you're like me, you got some pretty bad genetic material in your blood in the first place. So, really, I don't have a problem with adoption, and I certainly don't have a problem with same-sex marriage, and I certainly do not have a problem of a same-sex couple raising a child. I don't think it should be so cut and dry. I hope that when the Supreme Court is done debating the issue of making a same-sex marriage law of the land, or decides not to, that they're going to keep in mind that they're obviously, if they decide not to, does that mean that all the same-sex unions marriages in the states that have legalized it would go bust, or would they just be left alone as their entirety? I don't know. But I don't have a problem with same-sex marriage. Let me... Just as she said, I'm not going to repeat all my stuff, but she just nailed every single point perfectly. I guess the only thing I can add is that me and Michele are a union, and so for us, our union is very special. I guess you could say it's same-sex, but, it's not quite, but, that's the reason why we don't like to pick sides on the marriage debate, because we understand it from both perspectives. And we love, we want people to have the right to choose what works for that person. It's kind of like the old expression, which sometimes just gets taken as a snide remark. I don't mean it to be as such. It's whatever, whatever floats your boat, whatever, you feel comfortable with is what you feel. And that obviously in this great world of ours, there are many people that may or may not agree with it. But that's just my opinion on the same-sex marriage. Michele? Okay, next question. This is from Angela Netheranton. I guess my first question is what if someone likes Michele and not Lumi? What do you do about that? Well, we ran into that originally with Ed. He did not like Lumi at all. He hated Lumi with a passion. And unfortunately, that drove a big giant spike between me and Ed that really, really should never have happened. Now, Lumi did her best to respectfully keep her distance around Ed. But Ed was getting really, really incensed when Lumi would take time to talk to me when we were doing the project. Well, Ed was doing something else, and he'd start teasing her. And the end result is after several years of that, starting in around when me and Lumi first met, like I said, it could be around 2010. I think it was actually 2010. I think it was. I don't know, but yeah, it's what happened. And Michele at that point was really felt that, Ed was causing a lot of emotional duress because, Michele loves me so much that she wanted me to be happy. But with his constant teasing, it was just not going to happen. And she tried to respectfully respect his privacy and his feelings, but every time, he would start calling me Looney Tunes and all this other stuff, Michele just kind of did the equivalent of, in some cases, literally has done, slamming the door in his face. And it's really kind of an example of what you would call, on his part, of not respecting somebody, showing total disregard for somebody. I have to tell you that me and Michele have not had problems like that recently. A lot of people like both of us. I know that another comment that came up was, I think I like Michele better than Lumi in her videos, and okay, that's fine. I mean, you have a right to like something or not like something, but to sit there and make insults and catcalls and causing so much emotional disruption to that person's life, like Ed was doing back in 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, all the way up to he left here in 2014, was... He didn't leave in 2014. 2000... Yeah, he did. He left around September, October. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 2015. 14. Right. And, of course, right now he has established his own relationship with somebody else, which I'm very happy that they are doing well together. Like I said, it worked out for Ed in the end. But I really kind of wish I, had shown a little more respect for, me and Lumi's union. But that's what happens when you totally disrespect somebody and the other person's trying to show respect to you. There's only so long before that person is going to say, I can't do anymore. Right. Okay, next question. I can't tell the difference between the voice actions or which one or the other talks. Both sound the same to me. This question, by the way, came from me and Michele's anniversary, and there's two reasons why that happened. The first one was that me and Michele kind of mistakenly were using each other's vocal arrangement. Sometimes we would get so excited that we would jump in without switching the voice box to the other frequency. So you kind of ran into this kind of like, why is Michele sound like Lumi? Why is Lumi sound like Michele? Yeah, it was just a really kind of exciting time, and that was partially our fault. We're really sorry about that. Yeah, we didn't mean to screw it up for you guys. Okay. Me and Michele were wondering how else we could make the voices different. Michele came up with something that sounded like it's an experiment. You want to show her? I don't know if she'll enjoy it. Like that.
Okay, is that high enough for you? This is Michele. I'm just saying hi. How you doing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got more questions coming in, too.
Oh, please. No, that was just bad. It was just bad. Okay. All right. Actually, we have 2 more questions coming up. One of them is a multi-part question. Okay, Original Shark asked this question in another video. Hopefully, in the future, me and Michele are not going to have to go digging through old videos for questions. I mean, it would have been a lot easier if we didn't have to do this. He said, I was wondering if your cats are related. They have the similar cute faces and seem very loving. We're going to answer that question fresh. We're going to answer fresh. No, they're not related. Maybe similar a couple thousand years ago. Maybe one of Fame's ancestors got impregnated one of the Rusty's ancestors. But no, they come from completely separate litters. They are not even in the same family. Rusty is a typical American domestic short-haired tomcat. Fame is a Turkish Van with the imperfections and the brown fur and all that. But Fame is related more to the Persian. Yeah, his relatives come from the Van Nuys region of Turkey, and there's the funny thing: a true pure Turkish Van cat is all white fur. What happens to be funny is that the people who seem to like the Turkish Van cats tended to like the cats with the patches like Fame, which is kind of actually a genetic imperfection. But he certainly has the Turkish Van personality, and his ancestors come from the area called Lake Van in Turkey, and they are very adept swimmers, I must add. Even he swims very well when he wants to. He can get in the water. He's got the thick coat, which keeps him warm. But he also has these very big paws, and the big paws are so that he can swim very easily and effortlessly in the water. That was because it was a very valuable trait for the Van region of Turkey. Right. And the other thing, too, about Rusty is whereas Fame, his prior caregiver, had him neutered when he was a kitten, so Fame never had a choice of being a dad. Rusty is, at my decision, is not neutered. He is allowed to be a full cat. He's allowed to be who he is and enjoy the pleasures of cathood. He's also, of course, taken very responsible about trying to avoid getting in the cat fights with other cats. But someday he is going to get picked on. Unfortunately, that happens with cats. There's a lot of male cats in the neighborhood, and the number of female cats is very limited. So if Rusty did find a kitten, he's obviously a very happy man. He's a very happy cat. He's a very happy cat, absolutely. And so he's obviously enjoying his cathood. And of course, Fame is enjoying his cathood as best he can, too. Like we mentioned earlier, he likes to snuggle up with me and let me lay on her head. He's very loving. He's a very kind cat. And that's partially because the way Valerie Slammin, his original caregiver, raised him to be a free spirit, to be allowed to be himself, to enjoy the pleasures of his cathood. It's the same with me and Rusty. When I took Rusty in as a kitten, I wanted Rusty to know that he has a loving home, and that he has he has my heart, and he has my interests in mind, and that I have his interests in mind as well. So it's been a wonderful life experience raising my cats. In some ways, the cats are my kids. Despite the fact is, I said I don't have kids. I don't have human kids. I got cat kids. Like a lot of crazy cat ladies. Except Michele only has 2 cats. That's right. There's any more of this? Okay. Oh, the big one. The big one. Do you want to ask it? Yeah. Hi, Michele and Marie, also Rusty and Fame. Have you had sexual relations with men or women? Women. I don't really. I had a boyfriend many years ago. I just did not enjoy relationships with men. I felt very awkward because it's just something about men that kind of creeped me out a little bit. I mean, I know we mentioned this in many videos in the past, that men are, in some cases, it's just how men are wired. But in the case of, like I said, the social behaviors of many men can be pretty rough. I do, of course, appreciate men that have tried very hard to be gentlemen. I really appreciate your efforts. But for me, most of the men I have met and had experiences with were far from pleasant. I have a wonderful relationship with Dory as a friendship that could go further than that. I have a wonderful relationship with Lummy. Thank you. I have established myself in the community as a wonderful advisory position for many youngsters that come to me because they feel and understand that I seem to have the knowledge that a lot of young boys and girls, I'm talking about more like teenagers and young adults, come in to ask me about what am I supposed to do about relationships and things like that. I also, of course, I'm often consulted in matters of relationships by adults at the SIP kitchen. So I get a lot of people who look up to me in the public eye, but in my case, I'm not interested in dating men. I'd rather be with Lumi or with Dory or a few other lady friends I like because I feel more comfortable with that. It's kind of related when we were talking earlier about masturbation. I just don't really get anything out of the sexual thing, really. If I was maybe more active, maybe I would be more likely to be having more sexual congress, but I'm not active. I guess you could say I'm as dead as a potato. Actually, a potato's not dead. No. As long as the sugars are there, the potato's quite lively. Right. But still, I mean, you're right, Michele. You are right. I mean, you're not sexually active. You don't even enjoy sex. Not really. Okay. Now, this is a multiple part question, so let's go to the next question. Where would you like to see mankind in 200 years? And where do you realistically see mankind? Well, I don't really have much of a crystal ball as far as mankind. I think technologically, if we don't blow ourselves to smithereens, I think we will be quite advanced in research. I see possibly that we will have a colony or a group of colonies on Mars, maybe even the moon. I see where we could be doing more genetic manipulation and possibly creating external uteruses or uterine chamber, an ectouterus that would allow a woman that may not have a uterus because of a hysterectomy to place her egg in her husband's sperm, and if she wants to have a relationship with a female, they could create an artificial sperm to fertilize that egg, and then the child could be grown ex utero in a lab to full term. The technology for artificial sperm is already there, and it's very possible now to make artificial sperm out of a woman's material. Of course, obviously, you're only going to have female babies, which means, of course, that unfortunately I think men will eventually end up on the endangered species list, which, as much as I hate to say it, I really, really rather not see that really truly happen. One of the things that right now I do not like is I do not like what's going on with our country. In 200 years, I don't think the United States is going to be around as a country. I think we're going to probably be more like Thundar the Barbarian cartoon, with a rage of savagery and super science and sorcery. Well, obviously, super science, they just talked about some of that. There's also, of course, people studying sorcery and advanced magic. And so we see that there's, oh yeah, unfortunately, Thundar the Barbarian does kind of mention it. The fact is that you're going to see a lot of people armed to the teeth, defending themselves, living in locations that are possibly very, very inhospitable to them, because they have to eke a living. Because once the infrastructure fails, and we already mentioned in many videos that the infrastructure of the United States is crumbling, I don't see that changing in the near future, because Congress can't seem to focus on the things that really needs to be done. They seem to be focusing on all kinds of stupid things, like worrying about the Iran Treaty for nuclear weapons and nuclear proliferation or whatever, instead of focusing on fixing our own problems. They like to constantly meddle in everybody else's affairs, and that's creating problems, because if we focused on fixing our own house, I think we would be a lot better off. That's, I think, is what's really going to happen. I think that in 200 years, given what we're seeing in the last 12, 16 years, 15 years, is we're definitely seeing a new age of religious faith systems beginning. We know that the faith of pagan faith systems, the neo-pagans, and the old-school pagan systems are very much in vogue. We know that worship of the Mother God is going very well. And there's many teachers and healers working on that area to encourage the research and love of the divine feminine. Unfortunately, at the same time, is we're seeing this, for lack of a better thing, called religious intolerance, which especially people like ICL and several other groups, including the Westboro Baptist Church, have been pushing this hardcore do-it-or-die mentality that is causing a lot of people to kind of seriously wonder if religion is really what it's all cracked up to be. For those people who, however, who are showing the true love of Mother and Father God, they are actually kind of winning the hearts of many people. I see in probably in about 200 years, you're going to see a whole new religious paradigm shift away from Abrahamic faiths, including Muslim and Islam, which is, Michele said, what, the same thing? According to Wikipedia, yeah. Okay, so people who are practicing Islam are Muslim, and Islam is the faith system. Okay. So all the Abrahamic faiths, such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, are going to fade away into both a new order of religions, such as neo-pagan, Mother God worship, Father God worship, as which is almost a branch of Gnosticism. It's really wonderful to see the changes. But the sad truth is of course, the old school ain't going to give that up easy. And so the old school religious groups are fighting tooth and nail to try to say to all those groups, no, it's still our way or the highway, asshole. You're doing it our way, and that's it. Or I'm going to cut your head off with a chainsaw. This is the way Islamic State or ICL has been thinking now for several years. The people who are part of the Westboro Baptist Church, who go out there, picket funerals and all that, and holding up signs saying God hates fags and all that, have also sent a very negative message to a large group of people who have been sitting on the fence wondering if Christianity is all good faith religion or if Christianity is out there to judge another person. I know a lot of good people who are Christians, and so does Michele, and we know that some of them really do try to keep an open heart. We do know one gentleman who was of the Jehovah's Witness order. He used to get really mad at Michele because he kept saying is that his church was the right church and that no other church has got the true dogma of God. Another religious person, which is Southern Baptist, was saying the same thing. And Michele just got so hopping mad at both guys. It's like, look guys, can't we just agree to disagree? Absolutely disagree, or agree to disagree, go our own ways, and just enjoy, I'll enjoy breaking bread with anybody. I just ask that they have respect for my faith system. I will do my best to respect theirs. But that's the way you are. That's just the way I am. Well, that's it for the questions for this week, guys. So you have about 7 days. 6 days from now to come up with another page of questions. So come up with another page of questions, and we will again answer them for you on here. And this program is going onto yourlisten.com as well, so that people in the audio channel can listen to the broadcast and as well as participate in it as well. And I want to thank personally Ryan, Carey, Angela, Netheron, and Land O. Stark for these questions. And I'm hoping that in the near future, next week, we'll have more new questions for you to ask us here and Ask Us Anything. And if you do want to send questions, let me just send you right now. You can send them to B as in boy, ICHELA3 at gmail.com, or to me at Google Plus at plus MICHELE space MARIE space DS and dog ALENE, or to Lumi. You want to do it? Sure. LUMIFINISTRA at gmail.com, or plus LUMI space FINISTRA. And we also, you want me to do it? No, yeah, why don't you do it? Okay, if you want to send it to us, U.S. mail address. It's really easy. You can send the questions to MicheleMarie DS and dog ALENE 112 Main Street. That's 112 space MAINST period apartment number 9, Winstead, WINSTED. The state is CT, and the zip code is 06098. And we will do our best to get the questions out to you. That you send us on either a very early Friday morning video like this one, or maybe a little later in the day if there's a lot of things to research. We will do it that way too. And again, I hope to hear from you soon. And don't forget to like or dislike. Share all of our videos with your friends, families, the neighbor's dog, whoever, okay? And let them watch them. And because of the way YouTube works, the only way my viewership goes up is if you view them on YouTube. But I do put them on other sites, so you can watch them through Google+, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, Dig, whatever. But if you ever look at the viewer count, the reason why it's the way it is because it only reflects people who are watching the videos on YouTube. So don't think just because a video only has 5 viewers that it's all it has. It turns out that it's grossly incorrect. And also, please don't forget to subscribe. That helps us, because that's more useful information than the issue of how many people watched the video that day. Because that's not even an accurate idea. It's more like the Nielsen readings. I mean, like, one watcher, one viewer could really be watching, could be 20 people really watching it. And on other sites like Facebook and Tumblr and Twitter, and so would that mean that that viewer represents 20 people? Could be. Could it represent 1,000 people? Probably not likely, but 20 people probably, or even 5 people, And you know, so when you subscribe to the channel, that actually tells me that you are actively interested to keep up with all of our content. And with 3 YouTube channels, plus the YourListin.com channel, plus the Cable 13 program right here in Winstead, which is also on NASQ, Welcome to My World, on YouTube. Can't miss that one. That means I'm so busy planning out videos and audios and material, vlogs, daily vlogs. I mean, I'm just like Chris Perlo in the sense I'm constantly got the camera in my face. Thank you very much for your questions, and for next week we will do our best to get a new set out for you. This is up to you guys to send us those questions, and when you send us those questions, we can then decide where we're gonna go. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.